Hello again, and welcome to day two of Watchmen Nerd Week. Today, well, as I said yesterday, today I'm going to be talking about Watchmen. The End is Nigh, the downloadable game over Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and Steam. It's $20, like I said yesterday. I played the Xbox version, just as a heads up. The uh, the game, gameplay wise, is a brawler that promises puzzle solving as well as fighting. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, there's no puzzle solving at all in this game. The closest thing to a puzzle that this game offers is you having to pull a lever while your partner simultaneously pulls another lever, but those are always, without fail, 5 feet away from each other. So it's a pretty straightforward game. It's entirely beat this group of bad guys up, run to the next area, beat that guy up, run to the next area, beat that group up. It does boast a pretty good sized number of enemies on screen for a brawler, which is usually an upside. Here it ends up being a problem because it ends up becoming impossible to finish combos because you're always getting hit from behind, or you've got to always be blocking or dodging depending on which character you're playing. Um, Night Owl has much more effective area attacks for dealing with that kind of thing than does Rorschach. So with Rorschach, what you'll find yourself doing a lot is grabbing one bad guy, throwing him into the group, and getting out of the middle of the group because you're just going to get the crap beat out of you there. Because Rorschach takes damage quite a bit faster than Night Owl does, being much less armored. He is quicker. He has the big difference between playing with characters is their special meters bar. Um, Night Owls is a charge which allows you to emit electricity off the suit and stun and or kill everyone around you depending on their level of health and how tough of a foe they are. And then his suit will remain electrified for a while once you upgrade that, um, and essentially turning his entire body into a taser. Um, Rorschach's special meter is a rage meter because he's apparently Wolverine now, and he will go into rage mode if you fill that up and activate it, at which point you can stop playing because he will automatically counterattack anybody while in rage mode. So if you literally just stand there, people will punch you and he will hit them back for you, and you really don't have to do much of anything. Though he does move faster and do more damage that way, so it's not standing still is not the most efficient way to deal with things while in rage mode, but it's doable. Um, let's see. The cutscenes in The End Is Nigh are done motion comic style, quite a bit similar to the motion comics I talked about yesterday, but not nearly as well done. The animation quality just isn't the same. The voice talent, however, is Jackie Earle Haley and Patrick Wilson from Watchmen. They come back from the movie to do their roles here, but they are the only ones. In fact, the only really other character from the movie that shows up in this game is the comedian, and he has like a line, so it's really not noticeable at all. Um, there's not a whole lot here in terms of story that. I mean, this was hailed as kind of a deeper look into the Watchmen universe, letting you really see what the Rorschach Night Owl partnership was like beforehand. And there's really not a lot here in way of story. Like I said, it's a really short game. It does come in about 2 hours. Both my playthroughs came in about 2 hours, and there's even an achievement for doing it in under 80 minutes. So it's not lengthy. The graphics are your standard fare for 360 these days. They're nothing too terribly special. Um, though the levels where it's raining, everything looks really great wet. Rorschach's coat and Night Owl's cape specifically. Night Owl's cape is probably one of the better capes I've seen done in video games actually. Although it did have a couple instances of clipping, and at one point completely passed through the character model and ended up on his front for a few minutes. So that was kind of jarring. Um, Lighting wise, it's a really dark game. I don't so much mean tonally there, because obviously it's Watchmen, it's going to be dark. I mean, there's a severe lack of light in a lot of the levels. You'll find yourself having to turn up your brightness just to be able to see anything that's going on. Um, and there's a couple problems with the sound in that if your partner is behind you, you will not hear what they're saying. So there's not really any important in-game dialogue, just your typical character-to-character banter. Um, so you're not going to miss a whole lot, but it's kind of weird just being able to hear their muffled talking somewhere off in the distance behind you. Um, if you're considering downloading this for one of your kids, I would have to advise against that. There's R movie level profanity throughout the game, and it's pretty violent. As I said, it's a brawler, but it's not something like you'd find in a Batman game or like a Spider-Man game or anything like that. Um, the moves that Rorschach specifically, and even Night Owl to an extent, use to dispatch their enemies are pretty violent, and Rorschach is even able to use crowbars and knives, and you get really meaty stabbing sounds when that kind of thing happens. You can hear a lot of bones breaking. There's a generous amount of blood spray, more so than what it would be warranted in a lot of cases. So it's not a game for the kids, but it is based on an R movie, so that's to be expected. Um, as far as recommendations, I can't really throw this one out there for anyone who's not already a big fan of Watchmen. This is going to end up being mostly a fans only game. There's not really anything here done innovatively that really progresses anything in the genre. There's not even anything done terribly well to be a good example of the genre. The controls can get sticky at times. It's hard to pull off combos unless you time them perfectly. Even then, it's easy to be jarred out of a combo by the smallest hit from a bad guy. So it it's a fun play for anyone who's a big fan of Watchmen, but a lot of people are not going to find this worth the $20. So make of it what you will. If you're a big fan of Watchmen, I do recommend checking it out. It is kind of fun, and to be able to play as Rorschach and Night Owl. If you're not, then there's really not a lot here for you. If you're a huge fan of dark, gritty brawlers, then yeah, check it out, because it is that. But beyond that, this isn't going to create any new Watchmen fans, and it's not gonna revolutionize the brawler genre. So that about covers it for The End Is Nigh, and I will be back tomorrow with a review of the Watchmen film, which I will be seeing tonight at midnight. So I will see you guys then.